Good afternoon everybody, Tony here, Big Gigantos, and it's time at last for me to give you the review I promised you with the 6 Decepticon Generation 1 Seekers. I thought I'd start with a quick shot of them all in their plane modes first. Just get a quick brief description of who they all are, like you didn't know already. At the top there we've got the 3 originals, Starscream, Thundercracker, Skywarp from Series 1, and then down here we've got the slightly different variations, Thrust, Dirge and Ramjet. Now obviously the bottom 3 there that were in Series 2 are slightly little bit different because they have a different wing assembly. The top 3 are all the same, they are all F-15 Eagles fighter planes, as are indeed the bottom ones, but you can't really say that they're Eagles because the wing assemblies are kind of made up, they don't really exist. But we'll start with the top 3 first of all. I'll just show you them all in a little bit closer detail before we move on. Right, so there's Skywarp first of all. The black one. He's the only one I have that doesn't have any extra decals on him. He only has the factory sticker applied ones. But I actually kind of like that, so I've left him alone. I've not put any extra stickers on him. These are all complete. They all have their little missile accessories and all their bits and pieces, all with their little landing gear wheels underneath. Move across to Thundercracker. Okay, you can see he's got some of his extra stickers on. Slightly different pattern on the wings and on the back there, both with rub signs present. The Starscream is the only one of my entire G1 collection that does not have a rub sign. That's not because he's a knockoff, that's because he's one of the very, very earliest Transformers that came out before they even came up with the rub sign idea. So he's what's known in the community, I suppose, as a pre-rub Transformer, but he is in absolutely perfect condition. Again, have all his accessories as well, both missiles, and I've got both of his no rays for when he's in bot mode as well. Again, different wing design there. Okay, so that's those 3. They're the ones we're going to be looking at first. Let's quickly show you these guys who will be coming on to afterwards. Starting with Ramjet. Again, the only difference with these ones is the wing assembly is different, but the bodywork is the same as the Eagles up there. Here's Dirge. Again, another good one. I've actually repro labelled all 3 of these ones that you're going to see now. These bottom 3 have all been repro labelled up. Those are brand new stickers on there. Okay, that's Dirge. And lastly, which I think is most people's favourite, is Thrust. Again, slightly different wing assembly there. 100% complete, as they all are. So there we go. We're going to start with, oh, I've forgotten this little missile there. We're going to start with the top 3 first of all. Right, so I thought we'd start with Starscream first. Now I'm going to transform one of them and then show you all 3 of them together once they're done, because they're all exactly the same. But what I thought I'd do with Starscream, I'll take him to bits and show you just exactly how many accessories each of these things came with, because they're quite bitty. There's just bits all over the place with these things. Have a little look underneath there. So that's him in his F-15 jet fighter mode. Now then, I'll start to take him to bits. So that comes off. Got the wheel there. Okay, on the wings, both of those come off. Right, then you press that, take those bits out. Okay, now for bot mode, 2 of these will replace those, which go into here. So he's got 2 of those as well as 2 fists that go on him in robot mode. So again, let's just try and put all these in some sort of order here. So you can see there's an awful lot to these, and bits do get lost, and it's very difficult to find one that's complete, and if you do, it's going to set you back a little bit of cash. But these are originals, and they're worth every penny. Right, so that's most of the little bits. Now for the jet itself, this also comes into bits. Okay, so we have 2 wings, obviously. There. 2 kind of, I'm not sure what you call these, tail fins, I suppose. There you go. And the 2 rudders also come off the back. They're a bit stiff, come on that one. Okay, so let's just tidy these up. So we've got those 2. Those 2. And these 2. Okay, now that just leaves you with the body. So all in all, what have we got here? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 parts for one transformer. So that's quite a lot. Okay, now to transform them, the only bit you really transform is this. All we need to do is flip out these 2 panels here. They become the robot legs. You need to pull this down a little bit, which releases these 2. And then what I normally do is take one finger and just push through here, and that will bring these out like that. Flip them right round. Moving forward, they will become arms, and then what you're left with is this bit here, which is just hanging. Just separate that, turn round, and push right through the hole that's appeared. So you just go like that, and there you go. Turn this right back, push forward, and there's his head in there. And now all we've got to do is just attach the other bits. So we'll put these back on. They don't move, they stay where they are. In fact, no, sorry, beg your pardon. What we'll do is put these back on first. I just wanted to take it apart to show you all the pieces, really. Okay, those will go like that. Those will go on there like that. Basically all you're doing is just turning it from there to there. Right, put the wings back on. Little holes on the side. Oops. There we go, let's turn them that way. Now we need to attach some of these bits again. So we're going to put on the little launchers on the side. Like that. Fists, left fist, right fist. One goes on there. See, they're very bits. You can lose bits with these. Fists on there like that. Now we take these 2 little null rays. Instead of putting those missiles in, we're going to put these in. Okay, make sure it clips and holds in place. Oh, I'll put that one the wrong way around. Look at that. There we go. That goes in there. Just press that in, make sure it stays still. Right, now you're just left with these 2 bits, which you can do nothing with, I'm afraid. Now what I like to do with the landing gear that was on the front is to open up the cockpit, which you can now see these were original die clones, because that's where the driver would have gone. And there's a certain way of doing this. What I find works best is putting them sideways with one of the wheels in the corner and the other bit, oh, come here. There you go. I find that normally works best, putting it at a diagonal sort of angle like that, because that leaves clearance for this then to close, and that just keeps it in there out of the way. So that is one of the Seekers. That is Starscream now in his bot mode. Unfortunately, you're just left with these bits, like I said. Now if you just want to transform from the jet without taking all the bits off, I'll put Starscream over there for a second. Let's bring in Skywarp, and let's do the same with him. Alright, so I'll just, whoops, let's see what happened there was, I caught the little thing underneath and the missile fired out. So again, be very careful with these because they are spring loaded and they will fire. Alright, so before I start transforming him, let's bring in his extra bits. Okay, so that's him completing his jet mode. What we're left with is 2 fists and his 2 null rays. We'll just put them there. Now what I see, it happened again. Right, very carefully take the missiles out. Alright, and leave them to one side because they're the only bits you'll be left with. Alright, so take those off. Okay, and let's transform him from the jet mode. So the first thing to do is take these and turn them this way. Alright, and again that side. Okay, turn up and then flip these bits down. Now you can at least stand him up. Alright, Now again, we've got this. Let's get rid of the little landing gear. Pull this forward again. Put it in the same position. Open up the cockpit. Again, I find that works best. Close it up, and that's in there nice and tight. Right, now leave it like that, because what you want to do is turn the wings to 45-degree angles. Sorry, 45, 90 degrees even. There you go, like that. Because you need clearance to push this through and bring the arms around. Okay, then just bring them up a little bit, and then you can pull the wings all the way around to that position. Again, split the cockpit, push through the little hole, round to the back there, turn that back, push forward. Alright, so that's how to transform them without taking all the bits off. Now we just need to reattach these missile launchers that were on the wings, which will now be on the arms. Okay, there they are. Put the fists on. Like that. Okay, that's all that's left are the two null rays. And again, my Skywarp, the missile launchers are very sensitive, so I'll push them in, press that in, and I hope it stays there. If I was to touch that now, that would fly out. So mine's quite sensitive. Again with this side, push that in, and that's Skywarp complete. Right, I'll just do the same with Thundercracker, so you can see all three of them together. And there you are with Thundercracker in the middle, and that's all three of them together. There they are, all three Seekers from the original Series 1 of the Generation 1 Transformers, all the way back in 1984. All three of them together, like I say, they are complete. No parts missing at all. The only ones I do not have stickers for are Skywarp, but I like him like that. He doesn't, I don't think he needs all the bits in there and on the side. I actually quite like him with just the purple and black. I may get some for him, I don't know. But I quite like him like that. But parts wise, they're all complete, they're all in good working order, nothing broken at all. I do want to get another Starscream so that I do have one with a rub sign as well. But I do like the fact that he is a pre-rub and he's one of the very earliest ones. And some of the problems you find, especially with Starscreams, is because all this bit here, all this red on him here, and around the back there where the stickers are on the top, is all die-cast metal. So as a result, sometimes you'll see an awful lot of chipping on this paint. So it's very rare to find one that is this old without all this paint chipping on him. If you're looking for the marks, I do believe they're on that part of the leg. Yes, they are. You're not going to be able to read that, but all the markings are there. Takara Co. Limited, 1980, 83 Japan. Hasbro as well, and it's got some writing in Japanese there. Again, this Starscream was one of the earliest ones, but I like the fact that he is a pre-rub, so that I do have at least one of them in my collection. So that's those three all together. Now let's look at the upgrades of these, if you will, from Series 2. And we're going to start with what I think is most people's favourite, which is Thrust. Now he has been brandly new, I don't know if that's the right term. He's been brand new repro labelled, and you can see the shine there on all the stickers that I've put on. I did repro label this guy because he did look a bit plain without his stickers. He arrived to me without his stickers. Now normally on Thrust, in fact what I'll do is I'll just get you Dirge for a second. On his wings there, those Decepticon symbols should be a little bit bigger. In fact, the ones that he originally came with were the ones on the, if you look at Dirge's wing here, you can see the difference in size. It should have actually been these bigger ones. But the trouble is, when you put those bigger ones on here, they kind of tend to overlap and you have to fold them under there, which I didn't like. So he has everything on him that are meant to be his original decals, with the exception of those. I've just gone for the slightly smaller one on the wings there, so that it doesn't hang over, which I think looks a lot better. But again, essentially, if you take off the wings, I'll just do it on one side, there and there, you'll see that the body is exactly the same as on the original 3 Seekers. That does not change. That is prominent throughout all of them. The only bit that's the same is the body. The only thing we've got now for Series 2 is they've gone for something a little bit different. Okay, so gone are the back rudder and the tail fin that sticks out there, and gone with the big wings. They've just gone for this one bit now, which goes on there, and one wing. Alright, so he transforms in a similar way. Now, if you just take that one off as well. Okay, that's it. Well, I've just taken off these two because, again, these springs work quite well in these, so I've taken them off. Don't want to lose them. So let's just start with, instead of, in fact, we'll take these off now. Okay, take that bit off. That goes in there as before. Fold down. Okay, now instead of folding his wings that way, we're going to fold them upwards like that, because they eventually will go all the way around to there. Right, so it's exactly the same transformation. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll pull the feet down, tip this slightly forward, push out the bit in the middle, swing the arms around. Okay, split the cockpit. Here we go. Okay, and then bring the head forward like that. And then once that's done, flip the wings all the way down to there. Okay, and exactly the same as with the original three. We have two fists and two null rays, which we'll put on. So put the fists on there and there. Oh dear, it's just repeat, isn't it, with these? Don't worry, it will change in a minute. Put those on there. Put in the null rays. Again, these are very sensitive on mine, so be careful you don't lose them. Okay, and that is thrust transformed. And again, you're just left with the two little missile bits. And before, I'll just put those over there with them. That is thrust transformed. Okay, you can see just a little bit different now. It's just a bit of a different look to him. The body is the same, the missiles are the same. The only thing that's different are the wings on the side, on the middle and on the back. Okay, but it's quite a different look, I'm sure you'll agree. Let's just move him aside for a minute. And we'll bring in Ramjet. Again, another good one. Had a few episodes in this series where he was either by himself or with the other two, either Ramjet or Dirge. Very good character. Likes to whack things with his nose cone, which is why he's called Ramjet. Okay, so we'll do exactly the same. Open that up. Put those in there. Come on, in you go. Okay, it's going the other way, doesn't matter, as long as it's diagonal, in it goes. Right, now slightly different on him. Again, he has got two wing portions, like Thrust had, on the back and on the middle. So does Ramjet. These tails come off, and the whole wing comes off, and again, reveals the same kind of body. But the difference is this time, they've got rid of the... Let's bring in Thrust again. They've got rid of this now, this missile assembly here, and they've got just one solid piece of plastic like that, which means there are no bits to spring off or fire off, and these go on him in both jet mode and robot mode. So that means that there are, try to work this out now, two less pieces on this guy, alright, than there were on Thrust. So what we do, exactly the same, pull down the feet, tip that forward, push out the arms, bring them forward. Now instead of moving the wings on Ramjet, we're just going to leave them there, because that's where they go on him. They do not turn up like that, like you would expect like happen on all the others. They stay where they are. So again, this even simpler with Ramjet. Okay, and then we just pop these on the side. One there and one there. He does though, unfortunately, still come with two separate fists, as they all do. Right, we're getting through this slowly but surely, and I've put those on the wrong way round. There we go. Left on the left arm, right on the right arm. Right, we're getting there eventually. Right, now that is Ramjet. Now you can, if you want to, his wings are meant to stay like that, but you can, if you want to, take them off and invert them and just swap them round. Some people like that. I like it because of the fact that it's got the two Decepticon symbols on the front now, although it has got these, which I don't like. So you can, like I said, if you want to detach them, you can detach them, but then that just leaves two extra bits that you've got to have in your hand. But I'll leave that for now. I'll keep those off. I'll leave him like that. That's Ramjet. Right, now Dirge, which is the last one, is even simpler than Ramjet. By the fact the fact of that he doesn't have, like Ramjet has those two bits that can come off, Thrust has the two bits there on his ankles and the two big wings on the side. Dirge just has one. Just pull that off and that's it. The wing assembly is all attached onto one piece, so there are even less pieces for him. So let's take him to bits. Again, he's got the same as Ramjet, two big bits of plastic for missiles, but they're much smaller, so less bulk. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the fists, 6, 7, 8. So you've gone from, how many pieces was it on one of these guys? Was it 16 pieces? To just 8 with this guy. So it's gone a much more simplistic by the time we get to Dirge. He's the Seeker that comes with the least amount of pieces. So as such, he's the easiest one to find complete. So again, he transformed in exactly the same way. I'll do it like this since I've got him in bits already. Flip that through there. Okay, turn his head up there. You can see on there that I've put the repro label red stickers on his eyes because these all have black heads. There are no eye colours with these guys. And again, with Dirge, his wings just stay like that, down where they are. You don't need to flip them up like that at all. They stay down. But because I like to have a little bit of variation, I like to do what I did with Ramjet and just invert them like that. Let's put on the fists. One fist, two fists, two bits on the side, two guns. There we go. Let's open up his cockpit, put in his little wheel, and there, when you have Dirge and Ramjet, in fact, you know what, let's put these back on Ramjet just so I can explain. With Dirge and Ramjet, when they're in bot modes, they have no spare pieces anywhere at all. Thrust still does because he has the two missiles that go in there when he's in jet mode. But with these two, because they've got those, when they're in bot mode, they have no spare pieces. Now I know by this stage of the video, some of you are probably screaming at the computer right now that I've missed something. And yes, indeed I have. Now with these three, obviously that they were thought to be a little bit different and weren't released until Series 2. Now, on their packages, they're all packaged like this. They all look like that. But I'll tell you what I think happened. When it came to actually animating them, I think that Hasbro said to the toy makers, or even the people that said to Sunbow rather, the people that made the cartoon, I reckon they said to them, actually, you know what, let's have a look at these. And they actually noticed this at the back here. And they said, well, what if we draw them like that? And I think that's what happened, because on their box art, on all three of them, they appear like this, with their heads exactly the same as the original three Seekers, like that. Now it was too late to change these guys because they'd already been animated and they were put into the show. But with these, they could do something different, and I reckon they were told, let's animate them, but with their cones up, like that. And that, invariably, is what happened. That's just what I think happened anyway. So now, you can look at them and say that is definitely Thrust, Ramjet and Dirge. And that is how they appeared in the show. Now again, like I said, I repro labelled all three of these. Thrust, it works very well. His labels are all red, mostly red bits in, the odd little bit of yellow, but especially the wing detail there, and it suits him. It actually goes with his kind of scarlet coloured body. Ramjet, again, the same. His isn't too bad. He's got these bits in here, little bits of yellow on them, but he's got plenty of silver and just a hint of red there and yellow on the feet. But again, it doesn't detract too much from him. The only problem I have is with Dirge. Now, he's blue and brown, essentially. And I think they put too much red on his decals. It doesn't seem to suit his colour scheme. So I'm not overly sure about his. But either way, I think when you display all three of them together, they do look the bee's knees. And in fact, they were all animated with their legs like this as well. With the original Seekers, this part here was the knee, and they had an extra piece for the leg. With these Seekers, their legs were displayed like that, with just a kind of short thigh before the leg. So these are the most accurate to their toys as they were on the show. Now if you want to make one of these original Seekers look a little bit more like the originals, then what you could do is this. Just tip that forward, is to remove this whole assembly back here where the legs are. Then we do the same again on this side. Take that off, right. Okay, now what I also want to do is remove both wings. Okay, so you're left with that. Now you can't really do a lot about the head, you just have to leave it. Now you notice that the wings obviously go in these little bits in the side here, which can, obviously when you've got the wings in, allows you to turn them, and you can even, if you want to, fold them to the back like that. But what I would have liked to have seen with this, again we have to remember the toys came along before the cartoon did. What ideally needs to happen is this wing needs to be up here, so that instead of this, you've got this. Now I'll just hold them in place there. Now that is a much more accurate representation of the character, but unfortunately the wings are a little bit too low where they are normally. So I'll just put them back here anyway, and we'll finish with how they were intended to look. We'll put all Starscream's bits back on him. That's just another option you can do if you like to make them look more show accurate, which I do like. You can actually get a more show accurate version colour Starscream. I'm not sure where you get it from, but I have seen them, people put them up on YouTube before. Let's just move the camera back here. Whoops. And we'll finish with a parting shot of all 6 of them together. Sorry this review's taken a while, but there are 6 bots and it's taken quite a while to get all this done. So let's move them there like that. In fact, you know what, Starscream should be at the front really, shouldn't he? He is Starscream after all. There, okay, that is all 6 of the original Decepticon Seekers. Complete and unspoilt, with the fact that they have repro label stickers on them, but I don't think that spoils them at all. Undamaged, all in perfect working order. And I'm very proud. I was very proud when I finally got Thundercracker, because he was the last one I needed to complete the set. So that's the review, guys. That is my G1 Seekers review. Sorry it's been a long time coming, but I've at least done it now. That one's out of the way. More to come very soon. Please stay tuned. This is Tony, Big Gigantos. Thank you, and see you all again soon.